Okay, I'm just gonna record because I want to. And I just pulled cards from the Mother Mary Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild because I was guided to this deck to pull cards today. And I was listening to Flowers in Bloom by Tom Misch. And I'm vibing to that. And this week, I was guided to buy myself 2 bunches of roses and just be with the roses and treat myself. And so, the cards that popped out of this deck are Our Lady of the Rose Child, number 23, and Our Lady of the Rose Crown, number 40. And then I picked one more because I wanted to. And I picked number 34, Our Lady of Nourishment. Now, mind you, this morning when I meditated, I saw myself as a flower. Flowers at each one of my chakras. I saw lotus flowers at each one of my chakras. And my hands and my feet. And I saw me as a flower, blooming and opening. And I especially felt it in my solar plexus and my throat. And if you see the cards that came to me, my solar plexus is giving a lot of solar plexus and sacral energy. And this is absolutely giving throat chakra energy full time. So I'm going to record this for myself. Don't know if I'll ever share it, but this is for me. So I'm reading Our Lady of the Rose Child. You are my rose child, born of agony and ecstasy, in sorrow and joy. I am with you and you are growing, in darkness and light. I am with you and you are growing, in death and new life. I am with you and you are growing. The thorn and the bloom, both of the rose, in the midst of your suffering, you are in the birthing pains of new life. I cherish you, my heavenly rose child. Do not fear the darkness of life. It is necessary for your light to be made manifest. I am your mother, the midwife for the birth of your soul and the defender of your heart. Surrender and trust in me. Torn open by suffering, you have become vulnerable and compassionate. Strengthened by joy, you become light of spirit and accepting of all life. You are her rose child. To become what you are, you have endured the agony of breaking open as a seed, found inner strength to push down roots, and focused intention to rise above the earth. I feel every single process that was just described, because literally, you have been thorns and branches, finding ways to protect yourself from predators as you reach out to the light. And I wrote a poem a couple weeks ago about a rose, why a rose has thorns. I had a dream that I was explaining to my youngest sister why roses have thorns. And now your heart, the fragrant, blooming rose, is opening. This process repeats as we transform and become capable of receiving more life force, growing into a bigger manifestation of soul light upon the earth. At such points on the path, we come into direct contact with the divine. This is always what we think it will be. Though the mother loves and protects her holy child, which is your own soul, beloved, she does not try to stop that child from growing. That would not be mothering. That would be smothering, which does not allow for life to promote growth, but prevents it, no matter how well-meaning that overprotection may be. Allowing more contact with the divine means more of life pumps through our being. That is joy, and that is also, it can also be agony. These cannot be separated. The devotee of the Divine Mother understands that the connection with the peace of the spiritual presence is not about avoiding life, but becoming strong enough to bear it, to grow through it, to become radiant, a living, divine soul made flesh. Holy Mother protects her child without interfering in what is genuinely required for the soul to become all that it is destined to be. A living divine being on earth. When the child suffers, how she howls in agony, feeling every pain as though it were her own. Sometimes that suffering is more than the holy child can bear, and so she intervenes, absorbing the impact and keeping the child safe from harm. At other times, the suffering is a part of life, such as the loss that goes hand in hand with human love. At these times, she is the pain with her child, but does not try to shield her child from the mysteries of life, which, though painful sometimes, can actually feed the soul with the richness of human experience. When the child triumphs, she dances. How she dances, ignited in delight and happiness as her child shines true. She is willing to bear it because that is the gift of life through which the soul is empowered into divinity. Falling asleep. The oracle of Our Lady of the Rose Child comes with a special message. If you have been suffering, do not believe that the mother has turned away from you. She is in your heart, suffering with you. She is bearing this and asking that you bear it because she loves you. And this is your way to outgrow that which is too small for your future. Your breaking heart is the seed cracking open so that new life can begin. She is protecting you from unnecessary struggle. Yet, there are challenges which are essential for your soul to grow. These challenges will not be withheld from you because you are entitled to become your full self. Her message is this: from any suffering, great love will be born. Surrender into your pain to find the path through it. For that pain is there and new life is awaiting you. The mother will help you find the path through any pain or struggle. Nothing is impossible for her love. Know that your current struggle is blessed, and although this may not make much sense to the mind, this message can help the heart find some peace to bear this challenging part of your journey. Know that you are not alone, and the Heavenly Mother walks with you always. Pray to her, not for the challenge to be taken away, but for the courage, responsiveness, surrender, trust, and grace required to successfully move through it. You shall be so blessed. And there's a healing process and affirmation that goes with each of the cards. I'm going to stop there for now, and I'll record the healing process as a meditation at another time. And in my meditation this morning, I saw myself at the intersection of darkness and light. At first, it was me sitting on both sides, literally like in the Matrix, if you've seen it, in a white room, just me sitting, all light, white light. Not really a room, but the way I can conceive of it is a room, and it's just white. And then on the other side, it was just black and me sitting in the blackness. and we were back to back, like reflections, but not looking at each other, back to back. And when I was running, I still sat with that image. And while I was praying, I sat with that image. And while I was praying, that image turned into a lotus flower or a rose. And that both of those me's were actually one flower. They transformed into one. And one side of the flower was in the darkness, and one side of the flower was in the light. And they bloomed, each bloomed at its own pace, kind of one petal at a time, in flow and in a rhythm on both sides, in the darkness and the light. And so what I got from the joy and the pain, the joy and the dark, the joy and the suffering, they're both part of our growth. And where there is suffering, there is also light and joy, because it's always readily available. And the petal of pain may be blooming, and the petal of light and joy will be blooming soon after. And that's divinity. And we are when we're centered in that, we get to experience the balance of that in our mother, in the divine, in our divinity. Yeah, so that's what I got from that. I'll record that meditation. If I post this video, maybe I'll post the meditation as well. And now let's look at Our Lady of the Rose Crown. This is already giving me some type of elevation, some type of acceptance of being Our Lady of Rose child, being a child of the rose. Our Lady of the Rose Crown gives some type of acceptance to me. So let's see what this is about. Some type of elevation in our experience as the child. It reads, "You are my child and a royal divine being, to protect your spiritual deepening now as you descend further into the living divine heart and know all to be love. As the mysteries reveal themselves to you now, divine rapture awaits you. I shall keep you grounded and authentic, productive in the world that needs your light, even as I guide you into ecstatic communion with your holy nature." No matter where we think we are on our spiritual path, there is always somewhere and something deeper to experience. Our Lady of the Rose Crown appears when you are about to enter into another level of spiritual experience. This new level will be appropriate and healing for you, taking you naturally along in your spiritual progress. What might be suitable for another is unlikely to be exactly right for you. Our Lady watches over you with all-knowing tenderness and fierce protection. Only what you need will come to you. You have been preparing this for a time, for this time, quite possibly without realizing it consciously. It can take years of preparation to be ready for the next level of spiritual awakening. In order to be prepared, we might have to be challenged in a relationship that really stretches or breaks our heart. In that situation, we are learning to love more unconditionally, to either let the relationship go or stay with it, depending on what is right for us. We might experience weeks, months, or even years of not really knowing with any certainty if we are on the right path or living the life we are supposed to be living. In that continued crisis, we are learning how to remain present, to remain open, and to learn to trust even in the absence of clarity. Or perhaps everything in our life seems to be upside down. A loved one is struggling, or our own inability to resolve any issue that has troubled us deeply for some time and is causing us to feel almost unbearable anguish. No matter what the crisis or challenge, the way that we learn to respond and grow through it provided us with the development that we needed to be able to sustain the next level of divine experience. Love is the most powerful force in our universe. It is in everything and reveals itself in unlimited ways. To encounter this love, to be open to it, ready to receive it, and be challenged, illuminated, irradiated by it, takes tremendous preparation. I'm just feeling all of this, because yes, spiritual energy and the presence of the Divine Mother is very real and extremely powerful. It is in some ways like the energy of the sun. It can give life, but equally it can be destructive if we do not acknowledge and manage the effect of its power upon us, for good or ill. What is loving and uplifting at one phase of our journey will not necessarily be enough to lift us into the next phase of our journey. For this next phase, perhaps we need more challenge or more loving presence to leave behind what we thought we knew and how we thought we needed to live in order to allow more of the divine to live through us into the world. Our Lady of the Rose Crown comes to tell you that you have been in preparation, and now the time is fast approaching, or is already upon you, whereby you are opening to the more divine realization. This is a sacred and precious gift, and is happening in the perfect accordance with your own spiritual growth. She asks that you drop preconceived expectations of how this will manifest and simply be present to what is happening within you and your life right now. No matter what you may initially think, what you are being shown right now is more of the divine in its mysterious, creative, funny, and unfathomable genius. Whether you can make sense of it or not, your heart and soul will be fed by it, strengthened and empowered to more fully live your divine light and discover who you truly are, a magnificent royal child of the Divine Mother, Divine Father, and Divine Mother. If you have been wondering about your spiritual growth, or noticing that you judge others less and are able to hold compassion more easily, this oracle comes as confirmation that yes, you have gone through a spiritual growth spurt, and also more is to come. If you have been feeling as though you have been tested spiritually with a reoccurring issue, this oracle comes with a guarantee of divine success and congratulations as you are passing your spiritual test, and the Mother is in celebration with you. Soon you shall feel that and join her delight. And then there's a healing process and affirmation that I will record and read later. What's up? My son woke up. It was giving elevation. And when reading is elevation in depth, in truth, in stability, and surrender. We may resonate with these both, Our Lady of the Rose Child and Our Lady of the Rose Crown. For me, I have experienced the heartbreak. I have literally felt in vulnerability. I literally had to fall to the bed because I physically felt heartbreak a few months ago, and I've never felt that before, and it hurt bad. And I had to be brought to the bottom for me to open up for myself and allow the mother and the father to come in and just be supportive of me, for me to be supportive of myself and to take care of myself in the space. And I didn't get what was happening then. It was just painful and it felt crazy and I didn't like it. And I experienced the oracle, the message of these cards, where since that moment I have been in this perpetual and extending and cyclical experience of surrender over and over in different areas of my life, that are extremely painful and they bring a lot of joy at the same time. And the experience of surrendering and letting go, I'm experiencing a lot of openness. It's just open. I can't say that I'm experiencing all the miracles in the world, and I am experiencing miracles, but there is a lot that is not very clear yet, and it's causing me to just be, to be present, because if it is not clear, it's not yet there, and so it's not yet for me to be concerned with. And that has taken a very long time to accept. I'm coming from the habit of, if it's not there, if it's not clear, then I need to make it happen. And where I am today, if it's not there, if it's not clear, I need to sit down and let it be made clear. I need to be still. And that has definitely brought me into a different depth of my connection to spirit, of my divinity, and my relationship with Allah. Yes. So these cards are definitely speaking to me. I'm glad I recorded this. I will record the meditations because I want to listen to them too. And maybe I'm sharing this video. That's what it's starting to feel like. I thought I was just recording for me. And so let's get into this last one that I pulled because I wanted to pull one. And I pulled Our Lady of Nourishment. And to me, it's really looking like just feeding and nursing on the mother. The mother is here for my support. The mother is always here with me. I can surrender and reach out and reach within for the mother. And she will always feed me. She will always nurture me. That's what I'm getting from this. And I pulled this. So this is something that I really need. Especially with these last cards and that experience of the rose and the pain and the joy and the opening and the breaking. This is number 34. All right. Do you hunger, my child, for love, for security, for knowing that all will be well? Do you hunger for food, for possessions, for relationships, for opportunities to be free in the world and make your mark? Do you hunger, my child, for feelings of tenderness, appreciation, and acknowledgement? Let me fulfill that hunger now, through the divine presence and the bounty that it brings. Let me fulfill that hunger, that you may know fullness, not only fed by the spiritual worlds, but nourished through the light in your precious life, in this physical world, through which you are approaching your spiritual enlightenment. In the physical world, hunger can be painful. It can be the very real physical suffering of impoverished bodies. Hunger can also exist as a subtle, but just as real, and at another level, just as painful, spiritual poverty that threatens the continuing existence of the human soul. I'm feeling just a tension in my left shoulder right here, throat chakra. So I'm going to take a deep breath and just allow. It's okay. We are safe We are safe to speak our truth. We are safe to express ourselves. We are safe to communicate in our way. We are safe to be. Our expression is perfect. We are okay. The human soul is most precious. It is what allows for wild animal and sublime spirit to unite, for flesh to become sacred, and for spirit to become tangible, that it may live in the world as love. It is so extraordinary that any explanations of it in words are limited at best. To put it mildly, the human soul is worth fighting for. It is the part of us that feels, that has compassion, creativity, and connection to the living reality of the body and the natural world. It just knows when something is genuinely true, and therefore coming from love, or false, and therefore not coming from love. It isn't interested in wrong or right, in judgment, and one belief system over another. The human soul wants to thrive. The only world it knows to be true is love. Without the human soul, this whole divine experiment of Earth School cannot come to its fruition of a radiant world of illumined beings contributing tremendous waves of love to our universe. Let me run that back. That was deep. We gotta run that back. Without the human soul, the whole divine experiment of Earth School cannot come to its fruition of the radiant world of illumined beings contributing tremendous waves of love to our universe. We have so much power available to us as a species. You only have to feel the energy at a football match to understand that group power is considerable. However, if the soul is not present, that power is unable to be directed into constructive channels to improve our world. Imagine all the potent emotional intensity that is poured into a championship sports event being instead sent with intention that a political issue be resolved, for example, or an environmental issue be supported financially. One person has tremendous power to create difference in the world. Imagine how much power and energy could be generated for the greater good by a group of conscious people with great passion. Working together with conscious intent would make human beings very potent spiritual change agents, and the world would be transformed quickly. And of course, then there is the human soul that you have, beloved. Apart from the power of contributing through a group, you have a very important role as an individual being. You, my beloved, understand something of the spiritual truths that are still hidden from the masses. That are still hidden from the masses, who are fearful and cannot understand as yet. You are one of the children of the Divine Mother, one of those who walks the path of the living Christ, to assist with raising consciousness on this planet and bringing the spirit into the body so that the human soul can be born. No matter what hungers you may have for status, for wealth, or for pleasure, or contentment, or service, or passion, or freedom, or more, at the core of any hunger is the hunger for soul. It might be masquerading at times as a hunger for power, relationship, money, or chocolate. Yet, underneath all of that, there lies the hunger for life. And life is only directly experienced through the human soul. The mind alone cannot do it. There is no feeling function there. The body alone cannot do it. There is no self-awareness there. It is the mind and the body together through the soul, which creates the capacity to experience and be transformed and nourished through that experience. Without this, it is like being at the most amazing buffet, so very hungry that you are ravenous, but having no mouth with which to eat. Surely, one definition of hell. Our Lady of Nourishment comes to you with this message: your hungers will be met. Allow her to show you what you are truly hungering for. Yes, there may be moments of desire for a car or a pair of shoes, but if you allow her, she will lead you far deeper into what you are truly hungering after, so that your hunger can actually be fed. After all, if you are hungry for light, darkness will never sate your hunger, no matter how much of it you try to consume. She asks that you turn to her with your desires and ask for her help. She will not judge you or condemn you. She will help you. Sometimes she may show you that what you think you want is not actually what you need or want in truth. She will do so with mercy if you ask her. The healing process for this oracle will help you. Finally, if you are not sure how this relates to you, then know this. Within you, even if it is not conscious as yet, there is a great hunger and yearning that is soon to emerge. This is an expression of a spiritual call of your soul to life, a desire to live somewhat fuller, more fearlessly, and with greater understanding than before. It might manifest in a practical sense as a desire to travel or to communicate with people who are open-minded and willing to listen to you, and who want to speak about all sorts of topics. It might manifest as a desire to break out of the mold of your life and bust through stereotypes. Pray to Our Lady to help you feed your hunger in the most conscious, constructive, and healing way possible. She wants to help you now, and only she can truly feed the world. And then there's the healing process and affirmation that I will absolutely record and listen to for myself and share if guided to do so. That card. Ooh, did you hear that? We are the walking Christ. Us who resonate with this energy are the walking Christ. And let me just speak bluntly, because my throat chakra is boom, 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 going off, straining. And in safety, I felt that energy and that strain drop down back into my heart. So let me speak from my heart. I have always known that I am Christ walking. I have always resonated with Christ consciousness expressed as me and with me. That is something I was taught growing up, that I am God. That's who Jesus is. Jesus and the many prophets are the awareness that we are God, expressed individually as me, Atia, and as you. We are God, not the God. We are not the driving life force of others. We are not in control of anybody. Being God does not make us better than anybody else, because we are all one. We are all one with God. And the recognition and the consciousness of our oneness is our connection, is our reverence of the Creator, of the Most High God. Because we are all God's children, the children of the Mother and the Father. So it feels cringy a little bit, and in this moment I'm going to affirm and speak and acknowledge that I am aware that I am Christ walking in consciousness. I am divine light walking in essence. And this is a consciousness that I've always had as a child, because I've always heard my angels. I've always heard the voice of God guiding me, and I've always obeyed that voice. I've chosen that voice over anything that makes sense in just my mind. And that connection, that relationship, it ebbs and flows. And I'm coming back to a trust in that relationship right now in my life. Whereas I stepped away to just my mind. As the card said, I was just in my mind, and I literally suppressed any feeling as a way to survive, as a habit that I learned. And in the heartbreak and in the shifts and the changes that I've experienced in life, being the child of the rose and the crown of the rose, with those cards, in being in my life circumstances forcing me to acknowledge the pain and acknowledge my heart. Again, now I am in my heart. Now I'm back in my body, and I'm learning this balance again, which is really a balance that will always happen, this dance of heart and mind, of mind and heart, and body and physical and internal and external. And that's what that image really was, with me sitting in the darkness and the light back to back, transforming into that lotus flower or that rose, transforming. I actually saw that darkness and light. I saw it kind of, if you could imagine it, splitting me, just coming right down between this way in my body, splitting between my shoulders. I saw that darkness and light being my front and my back, and that I am one. I am the balance. I am the balance. I am the balance of the joy and the pain. And that's who I am as a human being. That's who I am as a human being, aware of her Christ consciousness, of her relationship with Allah God. And now I see I didn't just choose to pull that card. No, I was divinely guided to pull that card. And it's a blessing. That card is a gift to remind us of who we are and the path that we chose to walk as the souls that we are, walking one with spirit in this lifetime, because we are the light of the world. We are the light of the world, especially in this time with everything going on. And I was invigorated reading about how the power of groups with intentions set on a particular, even political problem can shift the world. And that type of talk has always lighted me up. So I pray that if it is for me to share this video, which it feels like it is, so I'm going to pray for the courage to do so. I've never done this. Well, I have done readings. I've never recorded it and just put it out there. So this is the first. So thank you for being here with the first. So if it is for me to experience this group, a collective of my own, a collective of those who resonate with me and my energy in this way, thank you, God. I'm so very grateful. I give reverence to the calling that you have on my life by surrendering to it and just being present with it. So I thank you for listening. I thank you for sharing it with who you think may resonate with it. I thank you for listening this far. And I thank you for being with me in my transformation, because I have no idea where I'm going right now. I have no idea. I'm just being me and trusting the process. So I thank you for trusting that process with me. If you would like those meditations, I will be sharing each of them separately. I'm going to add some nice music and everything to the back as I do, in the background as I do. And I love you all. I thank you for tuning in. I thank you for listening and being here with my first public reading. I did not know that my podcast would come to this. All right. Yes. Stay connected. I'm going to make a link tree. So stay connected. Link tree is in the description or in my profile, wherever you're watching this. I love you all. Have a beautiful and blessed day, and be in peace.